Oh, I'm so excited right now. I get to review the Carbon Flyer today. For the record, I come from a family of droners. We have flown these things for ever, I think. And the Carbon Flyer was going to be the next chapter. Oh, it was going to be the next chapter. It was going to be incredible. We have flown everything from the tiny micro drone. These guys are awesome. Oh, you can fly them inside. They're fast. Oh man, everything about them is easy. You've got the helicopter. These guys, I would argue that these guys actually started the whole craze. We have had probably 3 or 4 of these. They're kind of unusual, but fun to play with. This thing, forget it. This thing is awesome. You just hold your hand out and it just hovers over your hand. You can't control it at all, but it's pretty cool. To these guys, the fly around the house, use a camera and do kind of cool stuff. Pretty neat, this one. It's much larger. It's easier to deal with. Then you've got kind of the smarter image style. Also really cool. This one hovers like a champ. If you have the opportunity to get one of these guys, definitely cool. It's got a cool hover mode. To go all the way to like the racing drone, the Fusion, this guy, man, this thing is ridiculously fast. It's almost violently fast. I would argue that this one is a little tougher because the VR is tricky, but otherwise, super sweet. We have replaced the body on this guy a couple of times because it's really fast, but that thing's awesome. And now the epic Carbon Flyer. As advertised, amazingly beautiful, bafflingly brilliant, fun to play with, but flawed in so many ways. The Carbon Flyer was going to be the next chapter of our droning here. And even though it really is pretty neat, I mean, it does what it's shown on the website. When you get into the subtleties of it and the customer service, no, not at all. And let me show you why. I would say the biggest misgiving that the thing has in the short term is that their customer service is terrible. So backstory, my sons ordered the dogfight pack. You get 2 of them, and we thought that would be awesome. So, I've got a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old, and they spent about $190 on this thing. And, I'm going to show you the one that works, and then I'll get to the one that doesn't right after that. So here it is, the Carbon Flyer. This one is the one that worked properly, and we practiced like they said to practice online, and it really is kind of a beautiful piece of craftsmanship. You would say that because it's carbon fiber, it's probably super strong, and that's partially why we were so enamored by the thing. And it really is a lot like a paper airplane once you figure out how to throw it. The real issues are that it's very brittle. There's not much holding these engines in place. And by not much, I mean, you can see it. It's a bit of glue, and you got to be exceptionally careful of them. And I would say, understandable. But as you fly it, look at what's happening. So you've got these 2 big carbon fiber pieces that have been molded in that shape, and then they're sort of attached by this kind of weird tape. And what you can see is that even when you can successfully fly it, it's so brittle that it just like snaps, comes apart, all kinds of places. And that's the upsetting part. I mean, you're paying $90 for this thing. You can see that we've got some dirt here on the nose. That's because oftentimes when you launch it, and you'll even see that on their video, that it'll just nosedive. So we went through that process quite a bit here, trying to figure out how to fly it. And here's what we're left with. We're left with a device that we're actually pretty scared to do anything with right now because it's just so brittle. The other bizarre issue that the second one had, that this one did not, this one actually worked well in that case, is that their battery system is really tricky. So this side, the battery slides right in there, which is pretty cool if you want to buy the upgrade. And it doesn't weigh very much, and I guess it balances out pretty well. But the problem with the second one that we bought is that even from the first few seconds, we put the battery in there and it fell out. It never attached. So not only was the second one completely flawed in terms of like right out of the box, it wouldn't fly right, but the battery wouldn't even sit in its position. So This one flew really well. So here's what you're looking forward to is lots of cracks, if not pieces just absolutely snapping off. And this is very well balanced. So I'm sure there's a balance issue with it, but just other issues. So here's the real story. We ordered 2 of them. One of them flies. We flew it. That's the one I just showed you. It was fun flying. It really was. It wasn't like a regular drone. It flew a lot like a paper airplane. It was pretty cool. But we ordered a pack of 2 of them. The second one didn't fly at all. It constantly turned to the right. So long story short, we started with 2 of them. We opened only one to learn how to fly it. Then we opened the second one and it was constantly flying to the right. So we immediately emailed the company. We bought them on May 1st. The warranty is supposed to last 30 days. They emailed us back after multiple emails and phone calls. They emailed us back on August 8th. Remember, we bought it on May 1st. And we returned it on August 9th, and it was delivered to them on August 11th. And today is the day after Thanksgiving. We have heard nothing from them. We ordered it on May 1st. I emailed them on May 10th to tell me, hey, you guys haven't given me any kind of confirmation or anything. And on May 11th, they emailed and said, oh, yeah, hey, sorry about that. It's on its way. And then after that, it's crickets. Their website tells a good story. Their guarantee looks pretty good. But in practice, it's terrible. I even emailed them to let them know I was going to review it, and they didn't bother to respond. Like, I literally have one of these now out of a pack of 2 for $190 that's broken because it's just brittle. It's beautiful. It flies really well, but even under normal flying conditions, you're gonna break it. You're gonna break it. I know how to fly it, and I'm not gonna buy a second one. If they sell them for $30, yeah, I'd probably buy one. But let the buyer beware, for real.